With a sale agreement in place, will we finally see a new arena for the Sens in LeBreton Flats? Hey everyone, Rob Wong, joined alongside by Postmedia hockey columnist Bruce Garrioch, who's been all over this story from the beginning. And Bruce, we've been down this road before with the NCC and the Sens, but what do you think this latest news means for a potential new arena?
Well, I do think, Rob, that it's a significant step. It's a pretty major milestone in this project, and it obviously has taken a long time to get here. Um, the 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 biggest issue I think these two sides had in this negotiation was coming to a price. I wrote, I think in June, that the two sides were diametrically opposed on what the price was, but they were both committed to trying to get it done. And I think they didn't arrive at that price until the Senators and the NCC brought in a third party. And as I reported, I think the Senators paid just north of $30 million for that land. And I think now this allows the NCC and the Senators to get serious about what it's going to cost to clean up that land, how they're going to get their financing in place, the design for the arena, the design for the two apartment towers or whatever, three apartment towers that are 2,200 housing units that are going to be around it, the hotel and the restaurant and bar space. Um, they can now get serious about making this a destination. I think one of the things we've seen in Ottawa is if you drive west of Parliament Hill, Rob, um, you'll now pass the library, right? The National Library that's being built, and it's an impressive structure. You've got some housing on LeBreton Flats. You've got the War Museum down there. The city is growing that way, and I think there's a real opportunity here to make it a destination.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, all the different things being built around this potential new arena. But I think people need to remember this is not going to be happening anytime
No.
soon. It's still going to be quite some time. When do you think I guess if we look ahead towards the future, if we project it out, when do you think we might actually see this thing open up and see some NHL hockey there?
Well, I think it's going to take 2 years to clean up that land, right? 18 months, 2 years just to clean up that land. It's contaminated. It's former housing. I think it might have been people were expropriated from that land before development, and it's taking a little while to get to development. But I look at it now, and I think my betting money is on 2032. The opening night will be at LeBreton Flats because you're inevitably going to have some delays. You're inevitably going to have some construction issues. Um, I think when all is said, I was just saying to someone, I think that Calgary is taking, I think, 2 years, Rob, to build its rink. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, it's
Something,
around there. Yeah.
yeah. I think that when they actually put shovels in the ground, it'll only take 2 years. But I think it's going to take a while to get to the point where they actually put shovels in the ground because um, you're going to have some cleanup going on, and that cleanup is going to take a significant amount of time. And the other thing is, um, uh, I'm sure that will be limited by the harsh winters we have.
Absolutely. And of course, everybody's excited about the potential for a new arena, but as you know, the question always is who's going to pay for this thing? How badly will taxpayers get hurt, if at all? What are you hearing on that end?
Well, I think what's going to happen here is I think that the city and the senators will probably at some point here discuss a private what they call a P3, and it's a public-private partnership, which has worked very well for the Sens Plexus. Uh, that way, the city has some stake in the arena, and the senators also have a stake in the arena, because this will be good for the city. Mark Sutcliffe, and who I'm going to speak to later today, has made it pretty clear that he doesn't want any public money involved in this project, and that's completely understandable. But I do believe that you look at what the province of Alberta did for the Calgary Flames. I think the Senators are going to want to see similar participation by the province of Ontario, and I've got to reach out to Doug Ford's office to find out where that's at. And then there's going to be federal involvement, Rob, simply because of the fact that the NCC is a government. I don't agency is probably not the right word, but for lack of a better word, they're a government agency. This thing is going to have to be approved in Parliament. The NCC's board of directors are going to have to approve the sale of this land uh, next month. So there are going to be a lot of steps along the way, but getting to the price tag was significant because there was a significant gap when these discussions started on what that land was worth, and the NCC brought in they thought it was worth tens of millions of dollars. The senators always thought it was worth in that 30 to 35 range. It took a third party assessment that the NCC initially didn't agree with to get to the price tag that they received yesterday. But there's also, there's still got to be negotiations with the indigenous groups. There's got to be um, negotiations with designers, and there is a lot of hurdles left to clear. But I do believe this was a significant step because the last time the Senators got to this step, John Ruddy and Eugene Melnick ended up suing each other. You don't have that kind of partnership here. Michael Anglauer has some pretty good developers in his corner in the Malhotra family of Ottawa-based Claridge Homes and uh, Alania Holdings, Paul and Michael Paletto, who are Burlington-based, who have done a lot of development in that area. Rocco Tullio of Rock Developments in Windsor. There is a lot of knowledge on that within his partnership group, and I think that Ottawans can view what happened yesterday as a very positive step.
Well, as you said, Bruce, it is a major development in these negotiations and a step in the right direction. It does feel in some ways like 2032 is a long ways away, but I'm sure it'll be here before we know it, and we'll talk about it on a future video. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For Bruce Garrioch, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next one.